it is we cannot do. And as we listen to them, we start to believe them. We start to tell ourselves about all of the things we cannot do. Madame Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests, tonight, I want you to question how you think about limits. I had to learn about limits at a pretty early age. Something that not everybody knows about me, and not even my closest friends up until recently, is that I came from a pretty simple start. Wearing used Salvation Army clothing and eating macaroni and tomato soup. Just a part of everyday life for me. Now, another thing to know is that I've always been an enthusiastic student. I've always been an avid reader, enjoyed doing little math problems in school. When I asked my teachers to go ahead in school, they laughed at me. They said, "Who are you asking to go ahead dressed like that?" By the time I got to junior high school, I was so discouraged that although I maintained a high academic standing, I was not attending school as regularly as perhaps I should have been. I was about to give up on the whole idea. The school brought in a child psychologist. He ran some tests, listened to my story, and he concluded I was not being challenged enough in school. He opened up the door of opportunity for me to walk through, to go to a different school, one that would challenge me, one of my choice. And I chose Dartmouth High School because it would offer me the most opportunity. And I am sure glad that I did. Although it wasn't always just that easy. In order to go to Dartmouth High School, I had an hour-and-a-half commute each way on a rickety old community bus that could really be best described as decrepit. Oh yes, this little bus had many issues, not the least being it leaked when it rained. And I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia. It rains often there. So every time we came around a corner on the bus, it was like a bucket of cold water being dropped on your head. Man, I will never forget that commute. Although it wasn't fun, I was willing to do it to get some semblance of a decent education. And I'm sure glad that I did. Working with all of the opportunities that Dartmouth High School offered me, I was able to get into university, which was relatively unheard of where I came from. But again, it wasn't just that easy. My first few weeks of university were really rough. I didn't know anybody there, so I'd sneak off to a local hospital cafeteria so I didn't have to be seen eating alone on campus. But after a while I figured it out. What to wear, how to fit in. But it wasn't always that easy. And taking computer science sure didn't help matters any. I'll never forget the first day of second year computer science when one of my fellow students came over to inform me as to why women do not belong in computer science. I remember walking away from that conversation, feeling so disheartened. I looked for some kind of support to fall back on, a women's resource center, a female faculty advisor, but there was no one. Nothing. I'd come so far and worked so hard. Do I give up now? Am I even wanted here? I felt so discouraged again. So this time, I decided to be the difference. By my 4th year of university, I had established the Women in Technology Society with the clever acronym WITS, which was designed to support and to encourage women in technical degrees of study. This society is still active at Dalhousie today and in full force. In order to recognize my efforts, the school awarded me with the Faculty of Computer Science Leadership Award at graduating ceremony. And oh yes, graduation day. Surely one of the happiest days of my life. I remember walking up to the stage and seeing my parents sitting there in the audience, smiling back at me, as supportive as ever. For them, my degree represented breaking through the limits of the cycle of poverty, and they knew from then on I would never have to struggle as hard as they'd had to. As I stepped up to the stage, the dean called my name, and I realized I am the first person on both sides of my family, aunts, uncles, and cousins included, to earn a university degree. Every day since, I've worn my grad ring. It's a representation of how I overcame all of the limits imposed on me. So now I want you to bring one of your own limits to mind. Something somebody's told you can't do, or you've convinced yourself is not possible. And I want you to ask yourself, really? Are you really going to wait it out until retirement in that job you're not satisfied with? Are you really not going to go back to school and pursue what you've always been passionate about? By all means, I should not have a university degree, and I certainly achieved it through a combination of hard work, perseverance, luck, and pushing myself harder than I ever thought possible. So don't let anyone, be it your friend, a foe, an individual, or an entire institution, tell you what it is that you can achieve in this lifetime. Challenge your capacity to break through limits, and what you'll achieve is greater than anyone dares to dream. Madam Chair.